Roll the coin. We know the truth now. Put the coin in the chat. Put where you're from in the chat. Put the coin in the chat. Put where you're from in the chat. I love you and I'm in love with you. Roll the coin. We know the truth now. The lil at the gun. Put the coin in the chat. Put where you're from in the chat. Put the coin in the chat. Put where you're from in the chat. Peace to the gods and goddesses. Chicago, Jacksonville in the building. Tennessee in the building. Akira, what's up? Roll the coin. Brew Vision, how you doing, brother? Arkansas in the building. Daryl Harden in the building. Follow Daryl Harden. Roll the coin. The Divine Me, Ohio. Scrap, Arizona. Soul Seer, roll the coin. Wayman, roll the coin. Philly in the building. Minnesota in the building. What's up, Fang? Tantrum Artwork, roll the coin. Well, y'all ready today, huh? Y'all ready today. Roll the coin. We know the truth now. Peace to the gods and goddesses. I love y'all and I'm in love with you. Roll the coin. Alabama in the building. Baba Zoo, what's up? How y'all doing today? Put the coin in the chat. How you feeling today? East St. Louis. Roll the coin. Okay, today, y'all, I'm going to let Casey Macon get up here and drop some receipts. I'm going to let Casey Macon drop some receipts. I'm going to drop some receipts on some old buildings. We're going to go through some, I'm going to show y'all the symbolism on these buildings and who built them and where it come from, what they mean, and you can understand what's on these buildings, right? So I got one building in particular. That I really want to show y'all. Oh, let me clean my camera. I got one building in particular that I really want to show y'all. Oh, let me clean my camera. Hold on. I got one building in particular that I want to show y'all. Because it has all of the symbolism on the building, and I want to break the symbolism down. Mobile, Alabama, what's up? I'm gonna break all of it down and let a couple more people get in the chat. I've been hearing a lot of back and forth about the YT people pose. They cycle pose the end and all of that. They cycle never started. They cycle never started. Roll the coin. With that information, their cycle, stolen knowledge and hiding of ancient knowledge of our people, doesn't mean they started light cycle because they had our knowledge. They never was in the light cycle. They tried to put themselves in some type of light cycle by the history of our people. But I I don't concern myself with their life cycle. That ain't got nothing to do with us. We compare different people too much. You can't compare the original people of the earth with nobody, ever. Roll the coin. True enough. Now, true enough, it seems like they're winning on the physical realm because they have stolen knowledge and used it against us. But that's not a light cycle. That's just stealing. Roll the coin. When somebody steals something and they look good with somebody else's information or somebody else's material things, don't put them in the light cycle. They are just thieves. They are just using what they have stolen to attain material goods or some type of rulership at the time. But that don't make that a light cycle. Light cycle is enlightenment. They are still not enlightened. They are still hunter-gatherers. Therefore, they are not in the light cycle. Just because a hunter-gatherer get a car and become president and got a mansion don't make him be in the light cycle. You can't put material things and government, made-up government official shit with the light cycle. That don't go together. That don't go together, people. See, that we cannot connect bullshit with real shit. It just don't go together. So that's really just some whole other shit. But our people, I'm gonna say it like this. We always been in the light cycle, our people. They put our people in a dark cycle because we started to think and idolize things like they do. We are the only people that can go into a dark cycle because we created the knowledge, right? Living amongst those people brought our people to a dark cycle. That's what really happened. We've always been spiritual and enlightened people throughout history. That never changed. Only thing changed was we started trying to live as the things they said was successful on this plane. Our people started to believe that and started to live like them, and it brought our cycle down because we lost a lot of spirituality and knowledge by trying to attain material goods, right? They always been, they would never be out of the dark cycle. They were never in the light cycle. Simple. They have never been in the light cycle, ever. When have they been in the light cycle? Just because they became presidents and so-called kings and queens, which we know they are not the original ones. Therefore, they have never been in the light cycle. Never. They always been in the dark cycle. Ain't no date gonna set up no dark cycle. They've been in the dark cycle the whole time. They have. That's why they are the people that they are. That's why they are. That's why they anything that tears down nature is not in the light cycle, people. Anything that harms nature is not. If you go out here and kill animals and burn down, cut down trees and do all these things to the planet, you are never in the light cycle. If you turn original organic corn into GMO plastic corn, you are always in the dark cycle. You turn the corn GMO for monetary profit, right? That's not light cycle shit. That's materialism. That is, I need to sell more corn faster to make more money. So I'm going to turn it harmful to the people. They have never been out of the dark cycle. Hunter-gatherers going to teach that about these people in the light cycle. We in the dark cycle. We going to click back to the light cycle. No. 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 Roll the coin. That ain't how that work. How this works is our people is connected to the light and dark cycle. We held ourselves accountable for being light beings or dark beings, right? They have always been dark beings. Since they hit this planet, they've been dark beings. So ain't no use of trying to act like they better than us on the light cycle right now, and we in the dark cycle. Nah, it ain't what no. I don't prescribe to that. I don't teach that. That is foolishness. That is foolishness. Roll the coin. You and your ancestors have been spiritual the whole time, through the bad and the good. They was never spiritual. They never cared. They never prescribed to being spiritual beings and helping the planet and helping the animals and plants and beings live in peace on this planet. So they are never, when I say never, I mean never. They have never been in the light cycle. Roll the coin. Ain't nothing set up for them to be in the in a better cycle. It ain't set up like that. They're gonna do what they're gonna do forever, but we got to do what we got to do. The power is within our people. They know that. That's why they go to all our ancient sites and do pagan rituals and try to understand things and they are trying to become spiritual beings, but their animalism will not let them become spiritual like you and me, right? So ain't no light cycle for them. So if they ain't got no light cycle, they can't break out of the light cycle. They're gonna stay they are dark beings. That's the end of it, right? If you put them people in a situation to where it's survival, they will choose the dark, they would choose bad things every time. If you put those people in a situation with survival, they're gonna choose bad every time. We will perish as a people if we have to do something, harmful to our own kind. We'll just go ahead and perish. They will not. They will do whatever it takes. The most negative things ever to keep going. We will not subscribe to that. So we are not the same people. So therefore, we can't put. We have to stop putting those beings on our level spiritually and light and dark cycle, right? We got to stop doing that. If they was in the light cycle, they would be doing good. See, if you say people are in the light cycle, they will be doing good about the earth and the planet and beings and people, and they will be doing good. When have they done good? You have to be doing good to be in the light cycle. You have to care to be in the light cycle. It's not about profit. It's not about getting over on people to win material wise. So therefore, they never been in a light cycle. When have they planted some crops and gave some crops away? When have they gave some land back to feed families? When have they put housing to do this? When have they cared about people in the hood becoming better situations to feed their family? They never done it. They never was in the light cycle. When have they taught us knowledge of agriculture, of structure building, of you got to be on that side of the cycle to teach that. They never done it. Name me a time in history when they taught agriculture, structure building. They was virtuous. They loved the people, the animals, the planet. When? If somebody can give me one instance. When have a collection of those people done anything that was virtuous to the planet and the people? They get theirs and they go about their business and they don't care nothing about the other people, right? They was never in the light cycle. Let's keep going. So, ain't no use to us sitting up here talking about something they gonna perish because they go into the dark cycle, and now they've been in the dark cycle the whole time. They ain't perished yet. We have to perish them. That's the only way. We got to put them in their place, right? Let's get realistic. We got to put them in their place. We put them in their place a long time ago, and they came back around and got out on us, and then they put us in a place, but the whole time they was in the dark cycle. Roll the corn. So, people been asking me about that. I ain't trying to be funny with nobody else, but I don't prescribe to that. I'm not giving them people that type of power to be saying they're in the light cycle and we in the dark cycle. Nah. Hell no. No way. They still ride around in traffic, road rage, and throwing finger signs, ready to kill everybody. That is a dark being. Oh, we like, man, look, man, it ain't nothing, bro. We good. They over there ready to kill somebody because somebody cut them off in traffic. That is an animal. That's an animal. We can't give them that type of. It's too much praise for these people, bro. Roll the corn. Roll the corn. I'm not giving nothing, no upstanding, like it got some type of thing over us or something. Nah, that was never true. Never true. Anybody who unalived your people and took their history and took their knowledge just for them to be able to eat and gain some type of wealth on the planet is a dark cycle. In the dark cycle the whole time. The whole time. They were in survival mode the whole time. They wasn't trying to teach. They wasn't doing nothing or teaching nothing that was virtuous ever since the beginning of history that I have read. So that's the end of that for me. Roll the corn. Let's get to the bill. Right? Piazza bird. Griffin. This is a griffin, right? The griffin. That's what that comes from. The griffin comes from the piazza bird. The Mississippian griffin, piazza bird is the griffin, right? The Mississippian piazza bird is the griffin. Let me show y'all that. Roll the corn. Now, all this symbolism I'm finna show y'all is coming from the Mississippian culture. So therefore, if Mississippian symbolism is all over the building, that's who built them. Mound builders culture evolved and built these buildings because it's the same symbolism that come out the ancient mounds, right? Let me show you. Right here. Here's the piazza, turned into the griffin. Right? Piazza is Draconis, Draco. Piazza, it broke down, means Draconis, which is the Draco star alignment of the northern hemisphere, which makes it in the light cycle. The light cycle is above the equator. The dark cycle is below the equator. Our culture, only reason we talked about the dark and light cycle was because of nighttime and daytime. We got to get back to the real symbolism of the dark cycle and the light cycle. The light cycle is above the horizon when the sun rises. The dark cycle is below the horizon when the moon rises, right? The piazza is a light cycle being. It looked like it's evil. It looked like it's ugly, but this is a light cycle being, right? So they put this on. This is on side of the bluff on the Mississippi River, right? Now, what makes this very interesting is this piazza bird is found at a limestone cave. This bird is right outside of a limestone cave. The limestone that comes out of these places built the Capitol buildings, people. You got to connect it all together. The limestone that comes out of these places built Capitol buildings. So we got this on the cave, on the Mississippi River in Illinois, with the limestone cave where the limestone and granite came from to build the buildings in America. We are the people who built the Capitol buildings, and I'm finna teach you that. Piazza bird turned into the griffin. Now you see this. Now you see this right here. Now you see this. Same meaning. See that? Same meaning, right? That's where that comes from. It don't come from Egypt. It don't come from Samaria. It don't come from YT people with some evil shit. It don't come from none of that. It comes from Draconis. Look up the meaning of Piazza. Draconis. Draconis is a star constellation, right? And this is a symbolism for that. Okay. Now, I can't say this word, but y'all know what that is right there. This right here. This is what we're looking at now. See that? See that, right? Roll the coin. That's what this is. That's what this is. Mississippian culture coming out the sky. See that? Look. See that? Coming out the mounds, copper. That's where they come from. They don't come from no Germany. Germany got this out of mound people. And they started using it. Look, Indian motif. Indian motif. You see that? Turned into that. But it's an Indian motif first. Then it turned into that. They got that out of the mounds that our people built in Germany and turned it into this symbol. This is where it really comes from. Indian motif. Copper coming out the mounds. Adena, the Adena tribe had them all through the mounds, right, in Ohio. This symbol was all through the mounds in Ohio, and this is what it stands for, coming out of the sky, right? 4 cardinal points. This is the piazza also, right? You get it? I could break this down a little more, but I just want to give y'all the basics of it. This is the piazza bird going around the celestial, you know, piazza, swasta, all that come from over here. This stood for good fortune. This stood for good fortune, people. Good fortune. Not nothing evil. Good fortune. And let me get off of there before they start tripping. But that's what that stood for. And let me explain something to y'all. We made symbols for good fortune, light beam symbols. They took them and turned them into dark beam symbols. Same thing like they talking about these people in the light symbol, in the light cycle now. No, they turned everything bad. They turned everything evil. They were never in the light cycle. Now you see what I'm saying? They take a symbol that means good luck and good fortune, and they turn it into a bad symbol, right? You see the difference? Now let's keep going. Now, yin and yang, people. Yin and yang on the building in Delaware. This is an old building in Delaware. Yin and yang. I showed you the griffin, the piazza. I showed you the good fortune symbol. Now, you think the Mississippians ain't got nothing to do with this? Yin and yang? You think the Mississippians ain't got nothing to do with that? They do. Roll the coin. They do. Let me show you. You think the Mississippian ain't got nothing to do with the yin and yang symbol? Roll the coin. Watch this. Roll the coin. Let me see. That's the Wilmington Public Library I'm showing y'all. Wilmington Public Library. That's what I'm showing y'all. Hold on. Here we go. The Mississippian culture, while rooted in Eastern North American beliefs, they say they don't directly incorporate the sign. Well, watch this. Both Mississippian culture and yin and yang share some common ground in their conceptualizations of balance and harmony. Mississippians' beliefs centered around the cosmic harmony, divine power, and cycles of life and death. The yin and yang. Mississippians had the yin and yang also, people. Now, you know I like to show y'all artifacts. Now, here go the building, yin and yang. Now, check this pottery out. That's the yin and yang right there. Mississippian pottery. See that? Right there. Same balance and harmony, balance of nature, balance of harmony on the pottery of the Mississippi. That's how Chinese got it. That's how China got it. That's how Hindu got it. They don't come from over there. They don't come, all this stuff come from here. These are the artifacts that they don't want us to show people. because it shows that a culture used this stuff for greater good, and it was turned into other things in different culture. So yin and yang. Let's go back to the old building that our people built a long time ago. Yin and yang. See that? And I showed you the yin and yang. I showed you this symbol. I showed you the piazza for the griffin on the wall in the Mississippi. And now what is this right here? What is this? Put it in the chat. What is that right there? Y'all already know what that is. What kind of flower that is right there? What kind of flower that is? The blue lotus. The blue lotus. Second in command, beautiful answer. I love you, know what I mean? Love with you. That is the blue lotus. You think the Mississippian ain't got nothing to do with the blue lotus? You thought it came from Egypt, didn't you? Nah. Let's get into it. The blue lotus. Roll the corn. The blue lotus mound builders. Symbols of meaning of the blue lotus. It was in Egypt also. The mound building and in the mound building culture of North America. The blue lotus was associated with rebirth and the sun's cycles in nature. Now, these two cultures got this blue lotus. We got Egypt, Cushites, and Sumerians had the lotus also, and the North American mound builder. You see that? Now, who older? Who's older? The mounds are older than the pyramids. The mounds on the Mississippi River are older than Samaria and Egypt. So therefore, the blue lotus ideology comes from here, bro. Ain't no way around it. Now, in Egypt, we got the lotus. Blue lotus, Egypt. Blue lotus flower, Egypt. That's how they got there. It's the same symbolism as here. Roll the corn. We are the beginning of the knowledge. They are close to the end. That's why they were so advanced, people. Let's go back to the building. Blue lotus is on the building. You get it now. Do you understand it now? Yin and yang come from us, Mississippian. Blue lotus come from Mississippian. This come from Mississippian. The griffin or the piazza comes from the Mississippian. Let's keep going. We got one more symbolism on there. What's this right here? Here you go. What's that? What's that? Put it in the chat. The Owl of Wisdom. Ain't no damn Moloch. Ain't no damn Moloch. See, the dark cycle people made Moloch. The dark cycle people made Moloch. They never was out of the dark cycle. Now that you get it, the owl. Roll the corn. The owl. You want to know the truth? Let's go to the artifacts. How many you got, Truth? How many do you have of the owl, Truth? How many you got? Owl, Central America. Roll the corn. Hold on. We finna go to North America. Hold on. Roll the corn. Let me get to the receipt. Hold on. We know the truth now. Let's get to the receipts. Let's get to the receipts. Roll the corn. Tartary, the owl. You starting to understand it now? The griffin and the owl, so-called Tartarians. Our people created that shit. Y'all been trying to figure out who made the Tartarian buildings? Let me show you. The owl, the griffin. I just showed you the owl and the griffin symbolism on the building, right? The owl. Let me show you the owl coming out the mounds. Mississippi, echoes of Mississippi, effigy bees, Poverty Point, owls. Poverty Point, Louisiana, owls in the mounds. Roll the coin. Let's keep going. What else you got, Truth? Prehistoric owl imagery, right? Owls are effigy pendants. Southern Illinois coming out the mounds. AOL, roll the coin. Now y'all starting to get it. Starting to see who built these buildings. Let's keep going. Whoa. Owl images, bones and clay. Illinois, Missouri, Ohio, Costa Rica. All the way in France got mounds, but that shit come from over here. Owls in the mounds. Let's keep going. Owls in the mounds. Owl beads. Poverty Point, Louisiana. 3,200 years ago. Super old. What else you got? Cahokia mounds. Owls. Yeah, they only show you the owls at Cahokia. Wisdom. Celestial stars turned into wisdom. They translated that to the owl of wisdom. In the mounds. First place ever found them. Let's keep going. Jackson County, Illinois, owl effigy pendant. Yes, the owl is sacred for wisdom. That's where it come from. Let's keep going. Whoa. The Mississippian culture, Scott County, Missouri, got the owl effigy. Wisdom. Why you think that owl on that building? Huh? Same culture. Everything on the building come from us. Here you go. The painted owl effigy bottle, Tennessee. Roll the coin. How many more I got to show you? Y'all want some more? I got more. I got more. Whoa, Truth. Cahokia. Owl effigy made out of clay. The red clay. The red clay. The red clay of the Mississippi River. They make an owl out of the red clay. That's Mizraim, people. Mizraim is the red clay dirt in Egypt. This was the first red clay made type of pottery in the world. Let's keep going. Roll the coin. Whoa. Hopewell, Ohio, Illinois, owls. This symbolism ain't there for nothing. It ain't there for nothing, my babies. Owl effigies, Kentucky. Owl effigy, Kentucky. I can't teach you no better. I can't teach you no better. I can't teach it no better. Whoa. Owl effigies, Illinois. Yeah, I'm outside, brother. I'm soaking up some air outside. Owl effigy, Illinois. The birds talking to you. You hear the birds talking to you? Owl effigy, Kentucky. The birds in the background just make the live go even. Just make the live go way smoother. I love it. Owl effigy, another owl effigy, Illinois. Illinois. That might be enough. That might be enough. I got one or two more. Here you go. Bone carved owl effigy, Missouri. Missouri. Okay. Now, I think I got one more for y'all. One more owl. Here we go. It's the one in Central America. It's the one in Central America. They got the same. It's the same meaning, right? Effigy owl, Missouri. This represented wisdom. The owl represents wisdom. They turned that into some evil, but it represents wisdom, celestial wisdom, right? Coming out the sky as a star constellation. That's where the owl come from. I'll break that down another day. I have to break the stars down with the meaning of these, so you can understand that also. Now, that's why this is in the woods right here. Now when these people go out there and pray to this and turn it pagan, let me show you this right here. Bohemian Grove, where all the YT people go to pray to the owl, right? This is a mound builder site. They go out there and pray to the owl. They do pagan things to the owl that we created with the mounds. That's why they use the owl at the Bohemian Grove. They go out there every year and do all type of evil things to something that was never evil. They was never in the light cycle. They was never in the light cycle. They take everything we do and turn it evil and try to give it back to us evil. But that's why we have to learn what these things mean to break the code of dark beings. They are the dark beings. They are trying to teach us dark being ideology. We don't want it. We know what this stuff means. You can take it and do evil things to it. We know where it comes from and what it means. So you can't give us no bad idea on nothing we created, because this what y'all felt about it. We don't care about what y'all felt about our ideology. Right? Horns of the devil. Mound builders wore horns to signify nature. So now they use the mound builder with the horns as the devil, as evil. Inky, the underworld. Inky wore horns. Inky wore horns because he's a celestial being from the southern hemisphere, from the underworld. So he wore horns. So when you bury a mound builder, you bury him with horns, signifying the horns with nature in the underworld. That's why he's buried with a horn helmet on, a mound builder, right? Afterlife teachings, nature, that's where that come from. That's not evil, that's what they believed in. That's what they taught. The horns represent nature, not the devil. Yeah, we're gonna break that. We're gonna break all of that. We're gonna break all of that, them false teachings of these hunter-gatherers, bro. We got to break that. Now, somebody asked me about this the other day. Let me show you. Somebody asked me about this the other day. This is the Southern Crux. December 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, the sun stays in one spot. The Southern Crux is right above the sun. This is where they get the cross of the Christian from. Do you hear me? The sun sits in one spot. Every day comes up here. The crux, Southern Crux, seen in the northern hemisphere, December 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. That is the rising of the cross. This is our ancient culture. It's our ancient culture, people. This ain't got nothing to do with none of that. Now let me show you what else pop up on the 25th. Let's get to the 25th, truth. Roll the coin. I'm gonna have to shrink this down right here. Y'all got to see this. Let me show you. See, look, Southern Crux. Oh, Christianity. Now let me shrink this down. Hold on. Southern Crux. Oh, Christianity. Hold on. Now, roll the coin. Give me a 2 if you hear me. Give me a 2 if you hear me. Give me a 2. Give me a 2 if you hear me. Give me a 2 if you hear me. Got me? Okay. The sun coming up, the birth of God's son at the winter solstice. There's Sirius, Haru. This is Osiris. This is Orion's belt. Osiris, Haru, the sun. Isis is the Pleiades. All that stuff aligns up. So this is the winter solstice, right? Sirius is Greek for Osiris, which is Aset, which is Isis. Isis said in her temple site, she is the virgin. The virgin gave birth, followed by the three kings. These are the three kings. This is the immaculate conception of a celestial star constellation. That's why Isis, Osiris, and Haru and Ra became gods in Egypt. This is the winter solstice alignment, people. Now do you understand it? Now do you understand it? Now do you understand it? On the horizon, you're exactly right. Now our culture turned these alignments into deities with things that go along with it. Sirius became the falcon. Sirius became the falcon, right? Sirius became the falcon. Ra, the sun god, and that turned into a religion for the Nile River. Now you got Osiris, Isis, Haru, Ra, just like that, right? Now, the reason this is important is this is the basic star alignment that got all these people, they deities. All people deities come from this. All these mother goddesses come from the Isis teaching. Osiris turned into a Nu and all of that. Sirius turned into Haru, which is Jesus and all of that. So the immaculate conception of the Holy Trinity is stars, people. That's where they come from. So, and the cross comes from this. So you see this first. You see this first in the sky. You see this first, the cross. Then you see this right behind it. Then you get this right behind it on the 25th. That's where they come from. Roll the coin. I'm gonna get deeper into that another day. Let's go through this right quick. This kind of seal the deal, right? So screenshot this and read this. The spider. We got the spider. We got the sacred fire of the sun, right? 4 logs marking the village center, sacred fire in the prison. Chickasaw, Choctaw, Muskogee Creek. Sacred fire is linked to the sun in many historical and archaeological accounts. 3 circles surround the center of the cross symbolized, right? The upper, middle, and the underworld, right? Let's keep going. You have the underwater panther, the great serpent. Underworld, you got the Ogi, the rising sun. These are things that we must learn. Screenshot that. Screenshot that. All the symbolism comes from this. Right? Let's keep going. Rising sun, right? Symbols of the pavilion. That's fire. Winterville, that's why I went up the mound. See how they got the Winterville stuff? Now we have the thunder beams, and we have the so-called Ogi, all-seeing eye, things like that. Thunderbird, right? Thunderbird, other powerful sky creatures. Thunderbird indicates approaching a rain or war. Woodpecker here symbolizes the power of sky of the upper world. Now, the upper world. So when they talk about these birds, woodpeckers, falcons, those are upper world deities, right? Thunderbird came from all type of things. Came from Haru ideology. The phoenix and the thunderbird came from Haru ideology. So screenshot it. I just wanted y'all to see. Right, this spider is down there in the Nazca. It's in the Nazca area in South America. The spider. And I didn't get a good picture of the motif with the sun, with the cross in the middle of it. I got to get a good picture of that one. But you can kind of see it right there. Cross in the middle, sun around it. You can kind of see it right there. So all we have to understand, we have to start understanding, right? Now you see what's on the building, right? Agriculture, engineering, with the symbolism of the ancient culture. They put that on there because they know this stuff comes from agriculture. They put that on the building just to kind of just to let you know we teaching agriculture at this building. Then we got the engineering of agriculture. They put it right on the building. They know where this knowledge comes from, but they disgrace it with paganism, right? So I just want y'all to understand some of this stuff. I'm gonna go over some of this stuff again Monday morning. Monday morning, I'm gonna put the star alignments with the meaning of the ancient meanings of our culture, because mound builders are melanated people. They can stop it. Anybody align anything with stars in BC times come from our people. Wasn't no hunter-gatherers doing it. Hunter-gatherers just started understanding this stuff around 1,200 years, 1,500 years ago, 2,000 years ago. Anything before Christ ain't got nothing to do with these people, bro. So we have to break the symbolism down. So when you see this symbolism on these buildings, you know where it comes from, right? Casey Macon, you in the building? Casey Macon, you in the building? Roll the coin. I'm gonna let Casey drop some receipts if he in the building. If not, we'll come back in like an hour. But I'm gonna put this on YouTube. Y'all start researching these symbols and what this stuff really mean, and the words and the names of the Mississippian culture symbols. Then we take it back and we break it down with the star alignments. Then we understand the culture, right? Then we understand the culture. Casey in the building. Y'all follow Casey Macon. Casey Macon got great knowledge on these buildings and mounds.
What's up, people?
I'm trying to give you an introduction.
Can you hear me?
I'm gonna let Casey get up and show y'all some more stuff that go along with these buildings. Casey understands how this stuff works. A lot of people don't understand. He can show you things that he has put together that I go right along with, because we ain't help ascribe to the same teachers of the stars. That really mean. We're going off on mythology. We're gonna go off the culture. Man. Roll the coin.
What's up? Today, excuse me. Today I got some receipts. I got some. Guess let me turn my goddamn camera on, turn it around, because y'all don't want to see this raggedy hair. Well, let me get that. We're gonna talk about the sports and stuff up here, for y'all can understand what was going on, how the Mormon church and stuff was moving around and stuff, so you know your history. And also, you will see here, these are the measurements of the forts and stuff up here. This is where they get the ideology of your 40 acres at right here. Your 40 acres in a mule, because the large circles here were all 40 acres. And they use these forts and stuff like this because you have to understand they were getting attacked by Native Americans. It's, you know what I'm saying? This is just the honest truth, you know what I'm saying? And if you ever read the Mormon Bible, it's going to tell you exactly what they was doing. This is their measurements and stuff like this. Now, you also have to understand in the geography how they were doing it. Let me show you. Okay, anything. Let me go to the spot. Anything west of the Appalachian Mountains in biblical times was the West. Anything west of the Appalachian Mountains in biblical times was the West. It was nothing past the Mississippi. In our times, we're taking anything past the Appalachian Mountains. It was the West. That's a fake picture, so don't mind the picture. You know, them ain't the people who was there. That's just the people who they was portraying to be there. Now, what they was trying to do, what they did first was, as you can see here, Joseph Smith sends Oliver Cowdery, a couple other people, to preach the gospel to the Lamanites residing in the West, revealing to them their sacred book. See, they had the Bible. They was trying to take it to the to the American indigenous Hebrew. They was trying to take the book to them, telling them they had the book of their ancestors, trying to push their mythology on them. We got y'all book, y'all ancestors in it. Let us teach it to y'all. See here, so he sent 4 people to the West to teach them, to try to teach them the history of their forefathers. But they didn't go for it. They didn't go for it. They did not go for it. But that was their first attempt to try to get us off the land, to try to indoctrinate us, and that didn't work. So now you go through the history of the forts and stuff, you start seeing that, hold on, let me go to one of the passages in the Western Name where it shows, let me show you all this. This is a passage too. The Book of Mormon is a record of the forefathers of the Western tribes of the Indians. Remember, they're talking about the Mississippian culture, all up and down in Ohio and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about the Book of Mormon is a record of the forefathers of the Western tribes of the Indians. By it is we learn that our Western tribes of the Indians are descendants from the Jessup, who was sold into Egypt. And the land of America is a promised land unto them. For they tell you the truth in the Mormon Bible, all you gotta do is go read it. Tell you Joseph got sold over to Egypt, and the land of America is promised land. And I just told you, anything west of them Appalachian Mountains, they considered the West. Not over in California and all that stuff. They was talking about the Mississippian area. Then you get to understanding in some of these passages, let me see if I can find one. Okay, hold on. Whoops, I ain't gonna get to that yet because that's something for the natives. We're gonna destroy them today.
Casey, you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so when you talking about anything west of the Appalachian, in these other cultures like Egypt, they talked about the ancestors came from the West. They are buried in the West. It's the same ideology, right?
It's the same ideology. Now you understand it. In those biblical times, in the Mormon times and the biblical times that they're speaking of, anything past the Appalachian Mountains is considered the land of the West, all up and down this area. You see it? This is when they took over. But all up and down this area is considered the West.
That's fine.
In biblical times.
Exactly.
And that's why you get then you understand why he's doing this right here. Joseph Smith sends these people to preach the gospel to the Lamanites residing in the West, trying to reveal to them the sacred book that they got of their forefathers. They got that Bible. Now they're trying to take it over to the Mississippian culture and preach it to them, telling them that they got the book of their ancestors.
Exactly.
But we know that they rejected it because they was already living the ways. Well, we don't need that. We already living virtuous. Get out of here with that bullcrap salesman, Jehovah Witness salesman stuff. Get on up out of here. Then that's when they start going over and trying to get the what's the names? Let me see if I can find it. Oh no, that ain't it. That's something about the stains and stuff. While they was trying to attack, let me show you. Okay, you see. This is talking about a passage in there where it's talking about they trying to attack them. You say, don't come into our spot. We got our swords ready. We'll smite you down in our place of security. These are places of security. The forts and stuff. Like I said, it tells you all through the Mormon Bible when you read in the passages, it tell you, we ain't trying to fight nobody, but we will. If y'all come into our spot, we'll be waiting on y'all.
And that's why in the Mormon Bible they turned the melanated Indians.
Yeah.
And they switched it around to the natives and white tea people, the Lamanites and the Nephites.
Here's another passage where it says, we will prepare ourselves a circle of our lands. Listen, this is, I'm going to break it down now. I'm going to break it down so you understand the ditches and stuff like that now, and the mounds and stuff like that, why they was building them and stuff like that. Now, this is prepare ourselves a lands, and we will gather up our armies together and go against them. We will wait. He said, we're not going against somebody. We will wait until they shall come against us. We ain't trying to fight, but we will. We ain't gonna attack y'all. But if y'all come into our domain, we gonna deal with y'all. And these was the areas right here. These was the fortitudes right here. Here.
And so the whole time, when they're talking about Nephites or Nephilim, they were talking about our people.
Yeah.
That's why they got Nephi in the Bible.
Yeah. We'll show you a fort. We show you a fort. One of the Pollock earthworks. You know what I'm saying? These are forts. You see all these embankments right here and stuff right here. These is to keep hunter-gatherers out from fighting, from coming in. But you see this right here. Now let me show you what it's supposed to look like. Why it's like that. Because when you hold on. That might not be one I get. Hold on. That might not be one I get with the Western. Yeah, yes I do. Woo! When you add in the water, that's supposed to be there. Now you understand why the earthwork is there like that. That right there is the escape hole right there. You see that circle right there? That's an escape hole right there for them to escape by sea. This is the Pollock earthworks over in Ohio. Hold on, I got another one. This is in West Virginia, a fort. You know what I'm saying? You see with the three designs and stuff like this. Let me show you what it looked like when you add the water. Now you understand why the forts are there. Because all these was major waterways and stuff. The water ain't there no more. But you can see, now it's a better understanding of why it's there.
Now today, they use these as some type of, they say the Spanish built them for some type of military fort, but these forts was already there, right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, you know these forts was there. Like we got too much.
So the forts and the star forts and all of that, same type of thing, right?
Yeah. No, because the star forts would get into more of a. I think that was more of a more direct agriculture, mining operations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because those were morely near waterways and stuff like that. They directly on the waterways and stuff like that. You're not going to find too many of them inland. Yeah, you're going to find most of them by the ocean. The Netherlands have the most star forts in the world. Their whole country is built like a star fort. And then this is an example, you know what I'm saying, of some of the ditches and stuff right here. So they built these moats and these big old ditches around it and stuff like this for the enemies. So if you try to come in and attack them, you will have to come in here. All these is mountains and ridges that you got to climb up. See, like this. You got to here go the ditch. You got to climb up it to try to get through the first part, and that's just getting through the first part. Give you example of some more. Give you example of some more forts. This picture down here is all the mounds and stuff that was in the United States, all dots, complexes and stuff. See how they always squeeze themselves in.
Now, what's interesting about this is the one on the bottom left. See how they have this square?
Yeah.
They talked about Hebrews dwelled in a hollow square, and that's what they mean by
Man,
the hollow square of these mound complexes.
That's that 40 acres right there. That's the 40 acre one right there.
That's fire.
Yeah, the big one is the 40 acre one. Remember I showed you the measurements of them. Them suckers. See, the large circle is 40 acres. That's where they get the ideology from to give you 40 acres. I think they just popped up and came up with that. Oh, we just gonna give them 40 acres. And a mule. But you can do a lot with that 40 acres though, because shoot, look at all the stuff you can fit in one of those structures, man. You can fix the Roman Colosseum and it, Stonehenge, the Great Pyramid, and the Statue of Liberty, and still got room. You still got room to grow your food.
Now here you see the pyramid in the hollow square. The feet and the base of that area is the same base of pyramids in Egypt. So they already knew the math of how to put the bottom of the structure as the same feet, the same geometrical style as other places that we see around the world.
No, let me find that receipt for you. Don't think you lying. We ain't lying to the people. We got to show y'all. So I got it in here. Let me find it. I didn't have it pulled up, but I was on live last night, so I know I got it in because I showed it to some people last night when they was talking that junk. Then I had to show them that these structures 8,500 to 13,000 years old. Where is it at? It's hidden in here somewhere. I might have went too far. Yeah, I might have went too far. I might not be able to find it. My phone be playing games with me. Hold on. Oh, yes, sir. Here you go. Here you go. Just show y'all so we don't think me and Truth ever be lying to y'all. I'm gonna show y'all. Y'all can see it. That's the pyramid over there. It's got the same feet, the same measurements, everything. And the circle and the square also, you know what I'm saying, you can also get all the solstices and stuff out of that too. That's why they design them and stuff with their forts and stuff, so you can break it all down and you can still put your solstices and stuff in there and your equinox.
The reason this is so important, y'all, the ancient culture already had mapped out the exact feet and the exact styles that they was gonna put these mounds and pyramids and earthworks. Where earthworks are older, so they done it in earthworks first, then it evolved up into the base of the pyramids and temples. So that's why this is the same knowledge of the same people going around the world. Some of them are just older than other ones.
See, here you go right here. The square showing you, the setting of Cygnus, the fake Thunderbird, as they call it, or they Phoenix, that they swear, god dang it, is their culture, but ain't nothing aligned with no Phoenix or no Thunderbird. You know what I'm saying? You got Orion sets, you know what I'm saying? You got everything you can do. You can line everything with these square and circle. They was smart, you know what I'm saying? But here's another thing I wanted to show y'all. Let me see. The characteristics of Native Americans, Native American names, where it comes from. Let me see. Let's go through this. The connection. First, let's talk about this. I don't know that word. It's the attempt to estimate how long ago two languages separate from a common ancestor by evaluating their degree of divergence on a list of key words. Linguistics applies this technique. The Algonquin dictionary is compiled by the early colonists. The results indicate that the various Algonquin language in the New England date back to a common ancestor that appeared to the Northwest a few centuries before Christ. Their ancestors likely derived what is known as the Hopewell culture. So,
Mound builders.
but we already know. So when we go to that, we see, hold on, another receipt. The strength of language evidence is that is enough of it has been preserved to demonstrate linguistics. The languages among the stored kinds of evidence, language families cannot be fabricated. Written records unearthed in Americans are often labeled hoaxes, but language ties, when apparent, show specific ties from ancient to modern times, and the thousands of speaker languages are beyond fabrication. So stop lying when we say we find this Paleo Hebrew and on these artifacts and these goddamn cuneiform on that stuff, because it is beyond fabrication.
Now you see that the Nephi, or the melanated mound builder of America, translated into these languages. You see, from Nephi to now, the Nephi to now, the languages that they have now around the world. That's what That's what that means.
Man,
Fire.
I ain't done yet. I got some more for them. God dang, I gotta shrink this down, because this is the odd connection. This is the odd connection right here. The names come back. All Indian names and stuff come back to the end of the tribe. The you can't deny it. Judah, Zechariah, Elijah, Sarah. Now you understand where Lakota come from. They get their stuff from us. Native American names, the odd connections. Why are y'all names named And more specifically, why y'all ain't speaking Hebrew? Because that's a language of the American Indian. English to Greek to Hebrew is all the same thing. Y'all stop lying.
Fire.
Y'all stop lying. It already said they were speaking from the Hopewell culture before Christ was born. A few centuries before Christ, they was already speaking Hebrew.
Exactly. That's where it came from. That's where the Paleo Hebrew language came from.
And what the man say? The man say, you can't fabricate this stuff. And this is by top-notch professors right here that say this. You can't fabricate this stuff. So ain't nobody hoaxing no fake Paleo Hebrew in the 1840s, writing it on copper tablets. Stop trying to say this stuff is mythology. That's so real. They got them tablets. Whole bunch of them. Let me see if this one's smaller. See the hold on. Let me see if I can. I think see if I got a different picture of the other one. Nope. Hold on.
Put the corn in the chat. Roll the corn.
Here we go. Here we go. I shrunk it down for y'all. The I or the I for names is characteristics of many Hebrew words. Old Testament name: Isaiah, Noah, Tar, Methuselah, Ahijah, Elijah, Sarah. The Book of Mormon got the same ones. Y'all can stop lying. Otherwise, y'all wouldn't have these O's at the end of your name. We trying to tell you, we taught y'all and gave y'all your names and stuff. You think they came up with the Kota? Y'all origin story is in Wisconsin. That's where the mound builders was. Building stone forts and all kind of stuff. Because Wisconsin go crazy. So if y'all don't know, you Native Americans talking about what's our language, what we speak, why y'all not speaking Hebrew? That is the language of the American Indian. By Timothy Jenkins. Read him up. Pull him up. He said that's the language of the American Indian. The Creeks, same words. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, let me see. Let me show y'all what a comparison of some of these forts would look like, because most of them was made oh, hold on. I ain't never showed y'all this. Let me show y'all this that most people don't even know. It's 41 forts down here at the end of Illinois. Most people don't even know it. I appreciate you. I love sharing. It's for the people. Like, shoot. I research and stuff for the people. I don't research and stuff for mothers to send me gifts and all that other stuff. I'm for the people. It's in my blood. I'll be thirsty for the information. I want to give it out. I ain't trying to get nothing from nobody. I just want to share. Y'all need anything, y'all can hit me up. You know what I'm saying? DM me anything. You need some receipts, DM me. Somebody talking crazy, tag me. I ain't too much with all that arguing and stuff like that. I'll pull up and drop some receipts on some people, though. But I ain't trying to do all that fighting. Most people don't even know it's 41 forts down here on the river down here. This was the fortitude right here. This is where the Mormons tried to push us all down here. That's why these forts down here. And these big forts too. This ain't no little stuff down here, y'all. Let me show y'all one of the passages through one of these suckers. This is the back door entrance. This is the back door entrance to one of these suckers. But if you go to the original picture, you can see face carvings all up on here. You can see carvings all up on here and stuff. But this is the back door. I'll show y'all one of the fronts so you can see how big it is. Look how tall these forts is. One entrance in. 41 forts all connected together. All on the river down in Illinois. That don't anybody know the forts and stuff down there. Because if you try to Google them and stuff, they ain't gonna tell you they down there. That's the crazy part. You gotta go through these old videos and stuff to find this stuff. Because they don't want you to know the knowledge. They don't want you to know this stuff down here. Like, what the freak is all these forts doing down here on the river? Where was that at? Where's that fort at? I fault, y'all. I'm trying to find the fort again. I don't know what happened to it.
Now, what's interesting about these places are a lot of this limestone and granite that's in these places are on Capitol buildings. So we have to start connecting the Capitol buildings with these builders because the materials that was used come out of these places.
Speaking of, you just spoke up something for me to show. You see that square right there, Truth, at the Pull-Up Mounds? That was limestone right there all the way leading up. That was limestone in Ohio. They had it capped off. And another thing, hold on. Let me show you this article. Where dude weird but it? Where the weirdo at? Oh, let's kill him with this first. Let's kill him with this. You know what I'm saying? The Hebrew sign pulling up, welcoming the welcoming the people on the land, because it's a dude right here. He welcomed him on the land. You see him with the feather. You see him with the feather. You see that pose right there? Hold on, y'all. Y'all see that pose right there? Let me show you. Let me show y'all some a direct comparison. So when people be talking crazy, it's like, okay, let me go show you a direct comparison. Let me show you a direct comparison. That's a Mayan right there. That's a Mayan right there. I just showed you American Indian from the Great Lakes area throwing up the same sign down there with the feather. And people talking about they ain't the same people. They the same people. They got the same culture. Some goddamn Spaniards came over here and messing it up. But it's definitely the same culture. So this is one of the fortifications. You know what I'm saying? All these is embankments. This is the embankment, the ditch first, then the embankment. So you had to crawl all the way down. You know the embankments that they have and stuff like that. So that's why you had that's why they built those and stuff, because you had to crawl all the way down them to get to them. Then they built those ridges where you had to come up. They got one down at hold on, let me go to one of them, picture of one of them so you can see. Okay, here we go. This is one in this is in Indiana. You see the embankment? Then you had to come up it. This is one in Indiana. This is Smile State Park. I got videos of this. I went here last year. This was the first mound I visited. Or the first official mound, you know what I'm saying? Because the unofficial mound is just right down the street. I need to show y'all that one day, you know what I'm saying? There's a mound complex right down the street from me. It's an Elkhart Conservative Club now, you know what I'm saying, where they release the trout into the river and stuff. They grow trout and stuff there and they release them into the river and stuff. But it has a huge mound that is sitting on. I know this because it has a river running right by it. And a couple people have built their house right into the mound, but there's two pillars out there with adobe brick on them. Like crazy, like separated apart, and across the street is a golf course complex thing, you know what I'm saying, with a lot of crazy hills and stuff in there. And then the conservative club is right there and stuff. But it's right by the river. I can walk to the river in 5 minutes, right down the street. But
and when they talk about the two pillars, they call it the pillars of Solomon.
Yeah,
that is mound builders knowledge, people.
Yeah, I showed truth.
Talking about is coming from mound builders knowledge.
Yeah, I showed truth, but I didn't show them the bigger picture. You can see the pillars; they sticking out the ground. Ain't nobody just got no two individual pillars because they on each side of the somebody's driveway. One is on one side of the property, one is on the other. I did, but I'm on.
entering the two pillars is entering holy land.
Yeah.
That's what it comes from.
Yeah, and I'm gonna find as soon as I find some comparisons of where the pillars, like anywhere where any pillars are that's entering the mounds and stuff, where I can find the measurements. I want to find the measurements.
I got a video a guy sent me. I put on my page with the two pillars in front of the mound. I think that's I gotta see what state that's in, but that's where that comes from.
Yeah, if I can find the measurements, I'm gonna measure these suckers. Because the only reason I don't like showing it because the pillars, the complex is right on like a major highway. There's no parking spot, so I'm gonna have to walk down the mound. I'm gonna have to walk down the mound all the way to the pillars, and then they be acting funny about the conservative club because it's AKA a private club and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But somebody up there doing some weird stuff now, trying to put some rocks in a circular formation right now. You know what I'm saying? I need to go back over there so I can see if they got them, what kind of circular motion they got them in. Ain't no angels built no mound. Tisme, Luray, well, them mound builders, melanated mound builders, putting hands in the dirt. No angel technology.
These are our ancestors putting this stuff in
these are ancestors.
Not mythology.
Yeah, this ain't no mythology and stuff. We don't do mythology over here. We only show artifacts in articles and facts. We ain't trying to jump around and talk about no goddamn Hindu gods flying across the world.
See the teachings is once they try to teach us mythology, it takes away from the significance of our people building these things, and that's why I teach it a certain type of way because real people done this. This is not nothing out of extraordinary. It's real people done this.
Here we go. Article. A site in Greene County, Ohio called the Pollock Works has been under excavation since 1999 by Robert Budd at Wright State University, Ohio. He found a limestone walkway over 50 feet in length extending out from one of the openings of the enclosures. The enclosure is circular, built upon a stockade of burned sturdy logs. This is early evidence of the whole wheel earthwork used as a defense enclosure. Had a limestone walkway 50 feet in length. Man. Crazy. I'm gonna find the limestone. That's what I'm on next. I already know. They already told me it's in Greene County, or it's got to be somewhere in Ohio, or they got it from Indiana. Because Bedford, right? You know what I'm saying? It'll be probably smoother for them to get it from Indiana. But
Ohio, a lot of Indiana limestone was used in all of these so-called Tartarian buildings. Indiana has over half of the limestone that goes to these buildings came from Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana got that. They got that premium stuff. They got that premium stuff. Let me show y'all that premium stuff. Show y'all that premium stuff. That's that premium stuff that's on all the good buildings.
Exactly. What we got to understand is our culture is the culture that worked with limestone, granite, and sandstone and mining operations. All of these quarries around America, our ancient culture built those quarries that these people are using today for to pull out limestone and marble, countertops and stuff like that. Those are ancient sites. The same limestone on one of y'all's island in your kitchen came from here. It matches the same limestone that come out of a mound builder's quarry that's hooked to a Capitol building right now.
No doubt. This beautiful breastplate with pearls all on it, found in Sep Mound. Nobody else doing that. Natives wasn't doing this. They didn't have breastplates with goddamn pearls on them. They ain't had that. Y'all know they wasn't doing that.
And the breastplate is Hebrew. This Hebrew culture wore breastplate.
That ain't them, man. That ain't them, boy. That's Soldier Slim right there.
Now hold it right there. Hold it right there. Hold on. Hold it. Roll the corn. Hold it. Hold on. Let me get a receipt. I'll tell you what. I'll let you get it. Now, what I wanted to say about that, that's the same artifact they said was a Negroid artifact in the book I had up the other day.
You want me to pull the article? You want me to pull the receipt up? I screenshotted it. Hold on.
Yeah, put the receipt up. It's the same artifact.
Yeah, hold on. I got you. That same artifact, ain't it?
Spiral Mound.
That's crazy. This was found in Sep Mound, they said.
Yep, in Ohio, Sep Mound. I'm sorry.
Yeah, hold on. I got it. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Hold on.
That's the same artifact.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I know I got it. Oh, here you go. My fault. Same artifact that they say is
the appearance of a Negroid.
Yeah, the appearance of a Negroid sculpture in the of the mounds.
Fire.
But it says many of the Libyans have been Nubians, and at this time intermingled with the Libyans. Well, it's found in 7 Mile, Ohio. That's crazy, ain't it? There you go. Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all my boy again. Let's show you my boy. Let me show you my boy.
It ain't no fallen angel right there. That's your ancestor.
Yeah, let me show you my boy.
Fire.
Beautifully crafted. Look at them lips. But y'all know who that is, man. Stop playing. What else was found in Sep Mound? Let me show you a few other things that was found in Sep Mound. This beautiful bird. It's a bird pipe showing the bird in motion and stuff. Hold on, I thought I shrunk that down. Man, pictures be acting bougie. Hold on. Yeah, these pictures be acting bougie. You think you shrunk them down, they ain't shrink down far enough. But hold on. But we know another copper plate that was found. Sep Mound. Nah, definitely not native. Because we can go, like, dude kind of look like him too, Truth. Like, hold on. Dude kind of look like, hold on, let me go to the what's name. You see, now y'all keep that picture in mind right there. Now let's go to the Olmec. Where you at, yo, Olmec? Where you at, Olmec? There you go. There go Olmec. Come on now. There go Olmec right there. We just showed y'all a man found in Sep Mound. This is an Olmec right here. They ain't gonna show you all these Olmecs. Everybody should have this picture in their repertoire. Everybody should screenshot and have this picture in their repertoire. So when somebody asks you to show them a goddamn Olmec, you pull this picture up on them. You know, denying that. Then when they get to, dang, the Olmec, yeah, they get the line. They get to showing you all those Chinese versions of the Olmecs then. Like, bro, stop it. You know that ain't the original. Shout out to We Know the Truth for the pictures. You know what I'm saying? But these are real pictures. You know what I'm saying? But these are real Olmecs. These are the ones I ain't gonna show you. Look at Unc. Look at Unc. Boy.
Right.
Look at Unc. Look at Unc. Boy.
Right.
Look at Unc. I'm like, man, hurry up, man. I'm tired of posing. I want to be licking their faces, but I'm tired of sitting here. Hurry up and get this right. My knees buckling, boy. I'm 50, boy. I'm down there in that water, boy, and catch me one of them trout. What else is found in? Okay.
And the Olmecs are descendants from the North American mound builders. So this stock is the mound builder stock.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get an idea of how these people look.
This is a representation of how the tree forts would. I mean, how the forts would look with the trees and stuff. This is in the Mormon Bible too. So this is how they try to lie. That Littman site right there, that Lyman site right there. They tried to change the name of it, you know what I'm saying? But this is in the Mormon Bible, this site right here, but this is what it's really called. They tried to change the name. They be changing the dates, and you already know they be doing all that old weird stuff. But they called it the Lyman site on the what's name, but they called it something different. So, you know what I'm saying? Try to throw you off from what it really is. But that's all I got, you know.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah, a couple more artifacts. This is I don't know what the freak this supposed to be in the mound. It was on some kind of pottery stuff. But oh yeah, I gotta find those receipts, man. So you know what I'm saying. You can stop so you can understand what that goddamn what's the name symbol mean.
What the swastika symbol mean?
It is That's why they can get the same solstices and stuff off of it. That's why you see. Hold on, let me break it down.
As the Big Dipper moves around the pole star, it creates a swastika type symbol. Fine.
Yeah, and it's connected. It is connected to Arcturus. The handle is pointing to Arcturus. That's why you see it everywhere. We can. Yeah, you can see it there. Look at your queen. Look at your queen. Look at your queen. Look at your fake queen. Look at your fake queen with the symbol on her. See, that's why they got it. You see how it turns and stuff. Each turn you can still get the solstices and stuff off each turn.
Right, the four cardinal points become the four seasons for agriculture.
Yeah, that's why you see it everywhere. Greece, Rome. Everybody had it. There was no exclusions. Oh, we ain't excluding nobody. Even they fake Thor, he got the symbol too. Stop it. You see his symbol right there. Come on, Thor. Why you got the symbol on you, Thor? Come on, Thor. Why you got the symbol on you, Thor? Hold on, we ain't gonna forget y'all, Mesopotamia. We ain't gonna forget y'all, Mesopotamia. Y'all had it too. We ain't gonna forget you either. We ain't gonna forget you either. You had who else who we forget? Who we forget? Who we forget? I don't know, but you see, that's why you see it everywhere around the world. Italy, Scandinavia, Greece. Well, we was everywhere. Yeah, you ain't lying. Greeks will tell you. Greece crazy though. It represents, hold on, over here, okay, we'll tell you what it represents. Hold on. In the West is the symbol of hate, racism, horrors of Holocaust. Over here is a peace, is a divine symbol of peace and good fortune. Let me get that off of there real quick.
Don't hold it too long. Don't hold it too long.
Yeah, but it also, yeah, you see, I get up. It also represents the Big Dipper. The four colors, they represent a bowl, and it turns, and you can still get the solstices and stuff off of it. You can still get your star alignments and stuff off of it. You got your winter, spring, summer, fall equinoxes. You can still get them off of here.
Yeah, it comes from the four quarters of the year.
And it's connected. It's connected. That's Polaris. That's an Ursa Major. I found a mound. The Toltec mound's aligned with Polaris. The Toltec mound's aligned with Polaris also. Hold on, let me show y'all that. I think there you go. That's the Toltec mounds right there. When mound B goes over when the sun goes over a mound over that, you see the North Star. All these is the solstices and stuff out there. So now when you see it in ancient culture, you know what it is. That's why everybody got it. That's why old boy changed it into that weird stuff to try to take it out to him. But like I said, I appreciate everybody listening and tuning in, you know what I'm saying?
No doubt, y'all follow Casey Megan, man. Y'all follow Casey. We're gonna do this a little more because people starting to understand the meaning of these symbols and where they came from, showing that they came from America and not these other countries.
Yeah, I got my brother gonna be ready for you next Friday. He said he getting his receipts together because he want to come up.
Let's do it.
Yeah, like I said, he understand the knowledge real well and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So he just he just ain't used to getting up and speaking. Even though it ain't public speaking, it's still speaking. You know.
Yeah, you gotta put them in line and go with it, bro.
Yeah. Like I said, I appreciate everybody. You know what I'm saying? You know, I love y'all. I'm in love with y'all too.
Do it, man. Y'all follow Casey Megan, man. And I appreciate y'all coming through the line. I'm gonna put this on YouTube, so you can always go back and check this out. And Khalil hit the gun, man. That means roll the coin. I love y'all. I'm in love with you. Appreciate all the support. And I'll hop back on. It's probably gonna be tomorrow morning when I hop back on. I got some more receipts for y'all. Love y'all. Y'all have a great day. Roll the corn.
Roll the corn.